Run it.
Go.
3, 2, 1, go. Cheers. Welcome to. Hey.
Cheers.
Bobby, can you lead us off?
What is up with it? Welcome to the Toph and Scar Show, episode 1.
Scar Toph Show.
Featuring Scar Toph. I don't know.
And Atrioc!
Atrioc!
What is up with Atrioc?
That's the real celebration. People were thinking to themselves, geez, it's just the return of the Scar
just
Toph
Toph
Show.
and Scar.
It's not a big deal. It's not really a big deal. I don't
Yeah.
even know why I'm supposed to get hype over this.
We got a headliner guest. Headliner guest.
Hold on all the stops. For the return, you needed your biggest guest.
Scar and Toph Show featuring Atrioc.
That's from the PogChamps.
Yeah, if you can visualize the huge text. Atrioc.
We haven't done a Scar and Toph show in a very long time. We did that basic
the
one
first
at
one.
the Blur. You remember the very first one?
So good.
No, you don't remember the very first one, the prototype one.
I do.
Where
I
did
was
we
there.
even do the
We did
prototype
it in the office.
The prototype
I was sitting
one,
over there playing with Nick Allen. He was wobbling the shit out of me, and you guys were doing
when we
it
were
first.
watching match footage or whatever. That's the prototype one. That's
Maybe,
before
maybe I don't know
episode
the
1. This is
prototype
like
one. We used
episode
to do
negative
pro-
1.
no, we used
yeah,
to
that's
super
prototype
prototype
Scar and Show.
Yeah,
Scar
you
and
haven't
Toph.
seen that one. We got in the thing and we got yelled
But
at
I
because
believe that you watched episode 1.
some guys were trying to stream the CSL or
Oh, the HCL.
Remember, and that one guy,
That may have been
and the
me.
one guy got mad because they were trying to play League or whatever, and they were like, you guys are being too loud. I'm like,
Wow, that's funny.
Whatever,
I
man.
was on that team, so it couldn't have been me, but it was.
It could have been a different game.
Okay.
Like Dota or something.
That's really funny.
But either way, so you watched the first episode. Thank you very much for your support.
Long-time fan.
It discontinued, what,
Mostly
a year ago?
because-
2016,
2 years ago?
17?
Here to go.
18?
It's 19 now, man. I don't know.
2 years, I think.
17.
We've been pretty solidly the reads only. The reads are a new show.
Yeah.
I tell people watch the
Reed's
reads.
killing it.
I don't tell them watch the Scar and Toph Show because it's not really a thing.
There's nothing to watch.
Yeah.
People like the Scar and Toph show, though.
I know why. I
It
actually-
captured something the community hasn't had before or since.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly
The
why.
homie-
though.
homie
I can tell
podcast?
you why.
The story weaves the stories. It has that little bit of a homie chill vibe.
Thank you.
You guys were telling stories of the history of Melee and bringing it to the present. You know, I don't know shit about Neighborhood P, and I don't know shit about
The screen.
the Deep, and I don't know shit about people that you beat back in the day, or like who used to be good, or what. But from
Yeah.
the stories of the thing, or
I totally agree with you. I think it is. It's critical, right?
Yeah.
It's like the. Actually, this is. All right, let's just start it.
Let's just go.
This is one of the things that I feel very strongly about in terms of like humanity or whatever, is like living stories. There's a concept of a living story, a story that is not over, that continues to go on.
It's like in
a,
Fate's Tonight, a living servant. Remember that
There you go.
concept? Remember that concept? First anime reference
It's like Bran.
yeah, ding.
of the Scar and Toph Show. We're back. Now you know we're really back.
And a big part.
Anime references, baby.
A big part of the living stories is like the lore and the side plots, right? To really know a universe, like how many people like Lord of the Rings or like Star Wars and start reading extended universe stuff and like out of it it makes us feel more a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Plus all of mythology, like mythology basically is like literally
Humans
human
fucking
beings,
love it.
human
Humans
bring the living
tradition.
It's crack to us. We love
We
stories.
love- yeah.
One of the things I realized,
Like,
I try
gives me
to
juice,
When
gives me
they're fake.
torque just thinking about stories.
I try to tell this to people at Twitch. Actually, I didn't really try that hard. That's another thing that we should talk about offline. I feel like
yeah,
I
yeah.
try to say, I quote unquote try to say a lot of things, but I never really say it. But it's because there's so many ideas, and they're so like, it's a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But I feel they're very profound.
Yeah.
But if people don't know the whole puzzle, each piece is like, what
Doesn't
are you
feel that
talking
profound.
about?
What is a
yeah,
piece?
it feels like
Yeah, it doesn't
nothing.
feel good.
Yeah, it's
The piece that I thought was like so interesting is like I read something about how like, you know, ancient mythology kind of, how did it become one story? Like everyone knew all the characters, but it must be true. And in fact, you know, for some reason, I don't know how we know, but apparently we know that it's true that like different versions of mythologies would be like alive at one time, right? But they converged into one canonical
Right,
true
eventually.
version, right?
One wins out.
My thesis or whatever for like why that probably happened, why I believe this happened, this is why I believe it happened, is that like, you ever think about permission, like who's a member of the community, who's not? It's like, it's kind of like either you feel like you are or you're not or whatever. Like there's something where people sometimes feel like they're a part of something or they don't. But like if someone came by and told you a dope story about Achilles, all right,
Yeah.
I fucking heard this story. And then somebody else comes by and they're telling the same story and you're like, oh dude, I'm so hyped for this story, it's so sick. But they tell it a little bit differently. This is what was written in the article that I read, by the way. It's like, if you like the first version that you heard so much, you will not let them continue. Like You being in the audience, because this is back in the day, right? It's
Yeah,
not
it's
like
all
they don't have a
public, so
microphone.
yeah, there's
I'm
no-
going to stop listening to you. I'm going to turn this whole crowd against you if you don't tell the story the way I heard it. This is what happened.
Yeah.
So this sense of like, no, it's
It
not.
was his heel.
And my feeling about like what's so powerful about this, it's even in sports, is it's like feeling like it's partly your story is super dope and super powerful. Like, no, I know something about this. I don't know. You want to be on the inside.
Yeah. I think it's good and bad. I think humans take it to a bad place sometimes.
Oh,
for
no
sure.
question. But I'm just
Yeah.
observing the nature of humans because I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
many
unchangeable, right? We have to
fights
fucking know it.
What do you
about
think this has to
Wawa
do with-
versus In-N-Out versus Five
sheets.
Guys.
What do you think this has to do with the Scar Toph show and how we're contributing to the living story?
You're
doing that for Melee.
We're telling, we are the storytellers,
So we're
filling
telling-
in the blanks.
I see.
Because it's very difficult to get the firsthand accounts and to get the truth and to be,
I see.
the more you accumulate, the more you truly are on the inside,
Right.
of this
Yeah.
thing, this community, this living story.
I mean, I remember
What do you think about that?
before Mango streamed heavily, before he was a big streamer, he was on some of the early episodes of Scar and Toph show.
He was.
And he had a love-hate relationship with some parts of the community.
I don't
'cause-
think Scar Toph show predates Mango.
No, it doesn't predate Mango as a streamer, but he wasn't a huge...
He wasn't like it.
What I'm
he wasn't,
saying is like,
yeah.
our knowledge of Mango and the whole story of Mango, I think a lot of that is weaved through some of the stories you guys told and had with him.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the picture I have of Mango
Maybe you're right.
through some of the, you
Yeah,
know,
it definitely depends on when people come in,
it's
too.
when you come in for sure, but I just
Yeah.
think like, we wouldn't have that knowledge, that extra shading of the picture
Right.
without you guys. So it's cool. It helps
And
like
think about how it's organized
color
today.
our heroes and
Think about how all that information is organized today.
Dude,
What are
can
you
I tell
getting
you?
at?
Can I tell you some?
I'm
like,
getting
the
at it's
craziest- I
not
had a-
organized
I
in
had
any good way.
I had the craziest just
Oh,
thought
no.
playing off that, which is like, dude, what if there was a Scar Toph version that lived in Orlando, Florida, who was a homie with HBox, and those guys made a bunch of content in those days? Like, we would have a totally different like image of HBox in the
oh
community.
yeah.
Just having
No,
the kid his own Scar
That's a
Toph,
great point because there's
telling
good and
Xbox
bad to
stories.
it, right?
It'd be so different, right?
Yeah.
People are like, no, I know HBox. I know what that guy's like.
Because I'm sure HBox has some fucking homie
the
stories.
fucking Crunch and Cobalt show.
Yeah, if it was the Crunch and Cobalt show, we all just watched that. There was just hilarious stories of HBox like doing some
like,
shit.
oh,
like,
HBox is dope. He's doing his
remember
ledge
when
capping.
HBox took up the trampoline and
Yes.
did that crazy thing, and
That's so cool.
he was so wild. Yeah, I mean that literally the narrative is set by who's telling the stories, right? So
Think
is
about
one
that.
of-
That's
that is something
fucking
that I've
crazy,
always-
right?
I feel like that's the
I think
hardest
players
part.
get that intuitively. That's why
Yeah.
they get so pissed. Ladanus hated you
He did.
For that
because
reason.
you set the narrative,
Yep.
and he's at your will in that situation because you have the power of the story.
There you go.
And yeah,
Love
that-
getting Laudanis in my will.
clutched
Taste
it.
it. Having that power
Yeah,
over.
I mean, you guys made it up. You was it's
We
all
did.
good. I'm just saying, but like that's what could happen.
It's funny, like Zane actually complained about this to me not complained, but almost like Zane's actually such a sweetheart. He's like he
Seems
doesn't
great. I
have
haven't met him.
a
He seems
negative
great.
bone in his body, but he was expressing sadness to me, I guess, over this at a tournament recently where he was saying, I was like, man, like he's like, I'm getting to this level now and I'm beating these guys, but like I feel like I missed the boat because like he's still at like 26K followers, on Twitter.
Oh, he's not
Tiny,
hitting
like
the
a
wave?
tenth
Yeah.
of what Leffen is, and he's like, I kind of missed the boat because like if you get good, I missed the era where if you got really good, you become super famous and get a bunch of Twitch viewers and shit. He streams to like his stream's kind of tiny. He's been trying to grow it. Like he's trying to
Sure.
do all this shit. He's doing like comedy, like Beyond the Summit style skits on YouTube, which are actually pretty
It's
funny.
good. It's a good idea.
Yeah, he's like really hustling for it, but he's like, dude, I feel like I missed the boat, and it's kind of scary to think about,
I think he's maybe overreacting a little bit. I think
Yeah,
the second
probably.
doc's gonna come out. Hopefully he's featured in it. That's
That'd be
probably
nice,
not.
yeah.
He might not be.
But it'll get like a second wave of people, and if he's a top player at the time, he
Yeah.
also he's still not gotten as good as those guys did. Like Leffen,
Yeah, not quite. It's just the one.
or
movie so
consistently
far.
top. So
Right. Take some time.
you also have to tell your story a little better. Leffen told his story very well.
Yeah.
We all know who Leffen is. We know
That-
his
that's-
We
mythos.
tell Zane that all the time. Actually,
Yeah.
Honestly, that was what I've been saying that for quite like the commentators who cast you every single match. That's an opportunity, right, to
Yeah.
get people to know a little
Yeah.
bit more about you.
Yeah, that's why Mute King used to always get mad at us because I don't know, painted him as a lame ledge capper. Hey,
Well,
Jason, I know you're not a Patreon sub, but you kind of are.
yeah, you kind of are, dude.
So It's not really our fault.
But
You're not.
I
You're
think
not,
that I-
Means kid. You're not.
I definitely
You are ledge
learned-
camper. You're not lame.
I definitely learned from that though,
I
right?
did, I
It's,
learned too.
it's important to humanize while
It's true.
because like if we're too far on the inside
Oh,
and
yeah.
we don't build the bridge,
Because
that's
if
the
I'm
biggest thing that I
commentating
feel like.
Atrioc and Atrioc's being lame and ledge soloing, I'm hyping him up.
You're hyping me up. You've
Let's
actually
go,
done it. I've seen
Atrioc.
you do it on mic.
He's ledge capping him. I would never do that for Jason. I guess I should start. I should
You gotta-
start.
You don't have to.
Let's go, Jason. Yes.
I can see both sides because it's also not your guys' fault if the player is giving you nothing to work with.
That's
Yeah.
been my perspective.
That's the,
You know, it's
that's
like
the truth.
It's a chain reaction
it's
where
not
like
a
if
guarantee of
we're
good. Gear
armed,
company's not jobs to just make you look
Right.
great. They're not puff piecing you.
we play the hand that we're dealt. If we
Puppies,
have a
by
good
the way.
hand and we're
Nice
playing it poorly, then that's our fault. But if I don't have a good hand, I mean, I can't squeeze water out of a stone.
Yeah.
All right, I'm only human. And for me personally, what
Man
I'm
makes it
always
easy.
trying to do,
Yeah, Mega makes it easy.
he does because he wears the story on his sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But I'm
he
always
plays
trying to
amazingly
be-
sick, so it's like it's either on both levels. You're just fucking easy to call.
Yeah.
Get hyped and be excited, and
Yeah.
it's harder when someone's doing something that's kind of lame on screen and they haven't given you a lot to work with in the personality.
You have to have the breadcrumbs to throw out, right?
Yeah.
I always try to be on the inside and then throw the breadcrumbs out to help people on the outside make their way in. What am I going to say about Hungrybox? I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, but there's got to be something.
I
It needs
agree,
to help,
and
'cause,
I feel like-
Music King has worked, right? You guys call him lame, but the overall consensus of Music King is not lame.
Yeah.
People
No.
like Music King.
Yeah,
he's like a
cute.
well-liked guy.
I call him lame in a cute way.
He's made a career
he's
out of
super
being
cute.
lame in a cute way.
Yeah, exactly. That's his whole career.
People
He's
know
lame
his
in a
story.
cute
His
way.
story
His whole
is so-
personality.
yeah,
He like his whole stream. He goes on his stream and he ledge camps his stream. He like sits there and
Yeah.
plays or whatever. He's
I've
ledge
seen
camping
him
his
fucking
stream.
gimp at the Meds taco for 70 hours straight.
Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Hardly
It's
say a
amazing.
word.
Not
but
saying a word.
he does it in a cute way.
But it's authentic.
Yes.
I think
It
all you
is.
need is to
Oh,
know, like,
beauty
that's
series,
truly
beauty
him, and
series.
everyone, people will relate. You'll find your fans.
People love authenticity because at least you'll find your fans.
You'll find your fans.
You might not become. I
There's
feel like
so many people out there
the
you'll
caveat,
find. Yeah.
The caveat.
Yeah.
If you want to become the biggest, and this is the saddest thing I'm going to say. I feel like if you want to become the biggest, you can't be true to yourself. That's the sad part.
Interesting.
Your fans will find you if you're authentic. But if you want to become one of the biggest YouTubers, one of the biggest whatever, then I feel like you've got to be inauthentic because I feel like that's how you draw the biggest crowd, which are the scrubs.
I
Well,
think there may
okay,
be some
so
truth to that.
yeah,
Let's go
okay,
here.
all
What's-
right.
yeah,
So my
exactly.
2 cents about that, I think you have to ride a big wave
Yep.
like a Fortnite or like whatever the next big.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like just be true, like just.
If you're in a niche heart-based
Toph
community,
called
I think
Ninja
you can.
fake, right? I want you guys to tweet it, Ninja stuff. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and I don't. Well, I don't think that that's true.
Ninja follows us on Twitter.
Ninja likes you
Remember
guys.
I
I
don't
told
think that's
Bobby,
true.
I was like,
Ninja
you know,
likes you
Ninja
guys.
follows on Twitter. Bobby's like, he follows you. There's no fucking way he follows me. There's just
I
no way he
checked,
follows
I
me. I was
didn't
like, Bobby,
follow him.
just
I was
check
like,
right
what
now.
the heck?
You like looked at your Twitter. It's like, oh shit, Ninja follows.
I think I followed him back.
Ninja, for some reason, likes Smash. He doesn't know shit about it. He calls rest sleeps, but he just thinks.
That's actually
Sleeps.
its official name.
well,
Do you know
okay.
that?
Yeah, but come
If
on.
you go in the, I know.
You
we
watch
call it
two.
Rust.
You ever watch one?
Because that's the name of the movie Pokemon.
6 sleeps, H-Box.
Oh, it is.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
I think that in a community
Rest
like
is
Melee,
Pokemon.
you can be the biggest by being authentic. But I think in the
Yeah,
broader
sure.
world,
That's
if
what I
you're-
mean. That's
if
what I
you're
mean.
in a scrubby game, you have to play the game that you're playing, right?
Rules. That's why I lost the Snaps Gamer Watch.
YouTube,
Of course.
That's why.
Of course.
yeah, you're playing the Scrubs game. YouTube is an algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah, you still have to play by the rules.
You just play the algorithm. But the algorithm doesn't care about authenticity.
Yeah.
Tribes.
Precisely.
By the way, I have this idea for how to create human systems. In human systems, humans don't like people who suck. I'm sorry. Maybe they'll like them in the short term, but it doesn't have staying power. To have staying power,
Content
you got
will out.
Content will out, right? You'll flip your perspective, and somebody who's a real fan will know, wait, you said the other thing 4 years ago, what's different? If you don't have a good answer, then
Yeah.
you might lose a fan, and these are big fans. Everybody who's a fan and they don't care if you're inconsistent or don't know what you're talking about, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the staying power, in my opinion.
That makes sense.
So what advice would you give these people? What's the lesson here?
Who, the scrubs of the world?
The scrubs of the world.
No, I think it's more.
Or the Zanes of the world, even. What's
Sure.
That's an interesting
I
question.
think at the end of the day you got to
He's
be
gotta
authentic.
tell his
Because
story.
like the thing is like I feel like even if I guess like if your goal is to be the biggest or whatever and you use inauthentic means to get there, then at the end of the day you're just gonna hate yourself more than if you were just authentic the whole time. So even if you're gonna have fewer fans that way or whatever, like it's still just you'll be
a
happier.
second level to it.
You'll be happier.
Your
Yeah.
self-hate.
I'd rather be a happy B tier guy than an unhappy A tier guy.
I would want, if it were me, if I were Zane,
Yeah.
every tournament I go to, I want the top 32 and top 8 commentators to watch like a little packet that I put together.
Yeah.
It'd be like a 2-minute video. It'd be like a 2-minute video.
Wait, I'll
Zane.
tell
No,
you
that's that. I feel like before our top 8s, if we could watch 2-minute videos from all 8 players.
And they told us a little bit, and they literally filmed their own voice and told us whatever they wanted to
yeah.
say.
Don't tweet me after the fact and be like, "Oh, you didn't
Bobby,
know this
this is the
esoteric
sickest idea. Spencer, we gotta
I think
hook this
that's a
up
top priority.
for Evo.
You find the biggest platform
gotta
that you
happen.
have, right? And you do the most you can with it. But that's
Yeah.
all you could do.
This is a call
more
to
can
all
you do?
players.
I think
wanna
it's
see
what
the
you guys
first
should be doing.
2-minute player video. Tweet it at Scar and
Yeah.
Toph.
That's what I would do.
They'll watch it. They'll
You
review
see how many
it.
platforms we've created? Just because we had things that we wanted to say that we didn't have.
That's the magic
A
of the
vehicle
Scar
to say.
Show. You were here to witness it.
The magic.
And you. I haven't forgotten about you.
Anyway,
Very nice.
we were
made
talking.
great
We were
discos.
talking about ourselves this whole time.
I'm not referencing anything. Just be a great discos.
dog.
Say again?
We were just talking about the Scar and Toe show.
Are you gonna drink that?
I am, but slowly. I haven't eaten.
I don't think
I'm
he
gonna
is.
get some more
I'm going to
whiskey.
drink
I'm
it.
gonna get some more whiskey then.
You wanted to talk about Kings of Cali 4.
I did.
What is there
you guys
to
wanna
it?
jump to it? I just think Kings of Cali 4.
Jump into what? We're 20 minutes in.
All right, fine.
Spencer's going to tell us to stop. Like
We're
half
not
a
20
second.
minutes in. Hey, how many minutes in are we, Spencer?
At least 15.
Kings of Cali 4 is, I think, one of the most pivotal tournaments in the history of Smash Bros. And it was an honor as a young Melee player to witness what I think is an inflection point.
16 minutes in.
I think Kings of Cali 4 is not only peak Mango.
Yeah.
All the Mango mythology we know and love. This guy who can get drunk and show up to tournaments and
Yeah.
beat Armada and just be amazing.
Yeah.
And also is like, he wasn't fat at the time. I'm not knocking him.
That
Whatever.
is
yeah.
so funny that you said that.
I'm
Go
just
on.
saying, like Mango was like, he was like literally just the perfect Mango. Like he could just do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Literally
walked on
the
water.
night before, he walked on water. It was July 4th. It was fucking American Day. He was in a fucking American bandana. We were in Norwalk. There was fireworks going off. He was drunk off his mind. I was riding around on a tricycle through the smoke of the fireworks going off the street.
You were?
He was.
Mango
I remember
was.
sitting on Joey's lawn in a fucking folding chair playing Melee with you, and I see Mango just laughing on a tricycle, and he's got an American bandana, and the next day he beat Armada's ass and won the tournament. Like, it was like the most
Yeah.
peak Mango. It was like, he can do no wrong, no one can beat him if he tries. And since then, of course, he lost, a bunch of games, and
Yeah.
and he came down to earth, and it got
Yeah,
harder,
he
and
came
life,
down to earth.
and life hit him, and he had to
Yeah,
grind.
metabolism
yeah.
slowed down.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
things that really happened. But for that moment, he was still fucking riding so high. It was crazy. So I think Kings
I
of
do
Cali
miss
4 was
that
Pig
Mango.
Mango. Ben SW made Mewtwo King lose to Amsa for the first time ever. Sheik lost to fucking
NSW
Yoshi.
did literally make Mewtwo kill.
I literally believe this to my core. For
Can
those
you
who
tell,
are out there,
tell us
won
your,
that
from
and
your
you
perspective?
can find this footage on YouTube.
Where were you at the time?
I was in the front row sitting next to Ben SW.
You were literally sitting next to the man.
So the man, Ben SW, if you don't know, gets front row at every Melee tournament ever. He's a fucking front row savant.
And if he doesn't, he'll take
He'll take a couple of ice. We'll go into that in a different story. He got the front row at Kings of Cali 4, and because I like Mewtwo King or because of whatever, he just wanted to really let Mewtwo King know that he was not going to win this tournament. And Mewtwo King was up against Amsa, and I remember Oscar was commentating. You were commentating with him, maybe.
Me too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you guys were talking about how there's just no way Mewtwo King loses this.
That's
it was
right.
just inconceivable
Yeah.
that Mewtwo King would lose this set.
It was inconceivable.
And it
And I
was.
think he
Utterly
won
inconceivable.
game one. I'm not sure, but he looked fine in the early game.
Looked fine.
And then Ben SW is a little bit belligerent, starts screaming, 7th place! 7th place! In his ear as loud as he fucking can. As loud as he can, so boisterously and rowdily. And feet from Mewtwo King. And of course, if Mewtwo King were to lose this, he would get 7th place.
Yeah.
He was in losers.
That's the idea.
And you could see Mewtwo King's cheek start to slip.
Wow.
I swear to God, you can see it.
Wow.
I've watched a lot of Mewtwo King VODs.
Wow.
It got to him.
You say that, so I love when you say it.
I
watch a lot of Mewtwo King.
like Mewtwo King. What's the meme? The guy pasta? I've seen whatever. Anyway, I've seen a lot of Mewtwo King VODs, and Ben SW fucking caused him to lose this. I swear.
Yeah. I believe you.
Amsa's a great player. He was not great enough on that day to beat a good fucking informed Mewtwo King.
Well,
And to
I would
confirm
believe it.
oh,
I would believe that.
was the very next day Mewtwo King made a thread on Reddit, which he hasn't done before or since.
That's right.
Saying the crowd was just not. He said the crowd. It wasn't the crowd. It was Ben SW. He said the fucking crowd was inappropriate at the tournament. It was not ready.
It was
wasn't fair.
one guy.
It was Ben SW in this fucking
The
ear.
crowd of one.
So that's a piece of history
that's
that
a piece
you
of
were front
history.
row,
Yeah, that's a
front
piece
row
of
for.
And ever since then, that was Amsa's big breakout.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
winning
for
that,
sure.
and since then he became like a rising
That
star.
kind of put him on.
Amsa should thank Ben SW.
Big assist.
What else
Japan
happened?
Melee has a lot to thank for a bit of
For a lot. It's crazy how the world works.
Crazy how the world works.
This is another big tournament for Scar. I think that's what I'm talking about with Scar. It was a pivotal moment for me. As someone who witnessed Scar, I also thought Scar going into this tournament was someone who could do no wrong. I kind of looked up to Scar starting at Melee because I'm a video game grinder. I loved being good at video games. I was very good at League. I was very good at StarCraft. And in my mind, Scar was someone who was very good at a video game, and he was working hard at his job, and he was getting married. Right. So he was getting all three.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that you
all
felt that
three
way.
pillars.
Yeah.
And he could manage it. And I was like, I used to think it was impossible. Like, oh, if Scar can do it, then fuck it. I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep working with my girlfriend. I'm gonna keep working at work. It's all gonna work out. There's no way I'm burning the candle at three ends.
So him doing bad, him losing a Ken made you give up on ever being good at Melee.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And Melee and just realizing you have to prioritize. I just thought there's enough hours in the day that you don't have to prioritize anything. You can just literally fucking go all out on everything. And him losing at Kings of Cality sort of made me realize we got destroyed by Ken, and we were on the road trip home, we were talking, and he was like,
I remember
Ken's full-time job.
You said that to me. I still remember it to this day.
Yeah.
Well, you could say it because you said it, but I
you
remember
were
you
just so
telling me.
upset. You were so mad that you
He's a
lost to
sponsored
Ken.
player. It's what he does. He's streaming. He's playing Melee. Bobby Scar plays Melee on the weekends, and like some friendlies at the office versus Ben.
Yeah.
Like, what was I expecting?
Yeah,
Like,
why did you think? Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And I was like, damn, that's a good point.
Dude, you know what's nuts?
what?
For the longest time, the guy who best exemplified those three pillars was H-Box.
Real? Oh yeah, true. Although he's gone into
Well-
work and out of work every 6 months.
And he,
Doesn't seem consistent.
and he cheated on his girlfriend. So.
Okay, well, this is not a show on Xbox Hour. This is the stories we weave.
Ludwig
Okay?
already cracked that joke on the roast of Hugo.
It was very funny.
It
at the
was
I
very
know
funny.
nothing
It was
about
funny
that.
in
I don't even know if it's
context.
true. I'm just going to
It's
ignore
funny.
it. But
I don't know anything about
did
it.
I tell
It's
you that my theory is 2.5 things? You could do 2.5 things?
You do 2.5.
That's a good theory.
You know what I do?
I've been saying 2.5 things for quite
Can I
a
tell you
while.
what I do? I take my half, put it into work.
Yeah. Work is
Because
probably
it's
the
the
best
half.
thing to put your half into, in all honesty.
Yeah,
It
no, it
depends.
actually is. That's what I fucking realized. I mean, it depends, right? It depends what your
It
goals
really
are.
depends.
What are you trying to do? Yeah, what are your goals?
Depends on your goals.
What are your goals?
I'm so happy being a fucking IC. I don't want to be a fucking manager.
Show me a
be
person,
a fucking staff engineer.
right?
I want to stay at my same level and have the exact level of responsibility I have
Yes.
right now and never grow.
Show me a
It's
person.
not
It's your
actually
half.
that
Yeah,
meaningful
yeah.
to me at the end of the fucking day.
Yeah.
It's just money.
No, I
It's
think you're
just
perfect. I think your half
I
is
feel
perfect.
like that's
Yeah.
the world that we've built, where like work is for a purpose, it's transactional. Like
Yeah.
so a person like me who loves his work, I can't do the work that I love, really.
Yeah.
So it sucks. I'm still grinding. I'm still trying. That's still one of my two things.
Yeah.
But I've actually learned that I have to move it out of my top three in order to actually properly do it. Do we ever talk about that? Like forcing it. I sent that
forcing
tweet
it.
to
Yeah,
you about
no hard
Ottawa
edges,
saying
yeah.
like he felt like as he was practicing or working on a speed run, he noticed that he was forcing it. He was not enjoying it anymore. You have to let it go for a little bit.
It's that same video, like how to.
Dude, you've been grinding for a while, so
Too long.
on work.
Too long.
You have been.
I didn't have the.
It would
but
be a good time
with
to
work,
reassess.
nobody ever says like you should have fun. You know, like you expect it to suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
you
true.
kind of, I
But
think
when
it's
it's
very
fun, you
true.
actually get a huge advantage. It's a
Yeah.
huge fucking level up.
Yeah.
That's what
But you have to
anything.
walk the line where, for me, it was fun. I came to a realization about what I had to do based on what was dope, Like you have fun, you get inspired, and then it's like you need to create the thing that inspired you. But it was too long of getting no results for the thing that I was inspired to do, so that I got disillusioned with it. A speedrunner going for like, some sick fucking time. They know they could do it, they're inspired to do it, but if you run up against the wall too long, it's like you start to hate it. And you just got to take a break. You got to let go of it for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, that's part of why I left Twitch.
But I definitely think that work is a very hard thing to have in your number one, particularly in one of your top two spots, particularly because there's no objective good or bad, especially in the roles like the ones that I have and you have. Maybe for an engineer it's more objective, but probably only
I
somewhat.
think engineers like to think it's super objective.
I bet
but-
they do.
But I
The
can
most
tell you,
dangerous-
I can tell
the
you
most
truth.
dangerous-
That's true. Just as subjective as
That's
everything
so
else.
true.
The most dangerous combination is people who
Think that shit's objective.
Yeah, when it's not.
This is why there's so many few.
You gotta watch out.
This is why there's so few.
You always gotta
fucking
watch
women
your back.
engineers, by
It's
the way.
not safe out there.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because
Yeah,
pro
it's not
coders,
objective, yeah.
like
Check your
are
surroundings.
biased and shit, and
It all comes back to the human
when
biases
girls
of-
send in fucking pull requests or whatever, there's so many more comments because people want to fucking pick them apart, and then they say it's objective, and it's
Yeah,
just like
but
this.
the math proves that
really
it's not.
insidious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the math proves it's not. It just doesn't make
It just
sense.
never is. It just never is. People are never fucking objective. That's just how it works.
People really aren't. You gotta watch your back.
But also don't be, trust people.
That too. No,
Have
totally.
some trust.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because a small group of trust can have big effects.
Yep.
So I've been meditating a lot, right?
Yeah.
We've been talking about this. He's inspired.
Do you want to keep talking about Kings of Cali?
No, I don't
we
think I
have
had
more?
much else to say. I just want to say it was
You
a.
said some dope shit. I wish I was there. You would have had a thing about me too. I would have gotten.
I would have definitely. I can't think of anyone else that happened.
I didn't go to that one.
It was an important moment for me with you.
Yeah.
When I saw that, and I was like,
I had
okay.
fucking like finals or something.
For
you have
some
finals?
reason.
And his people vote for Blur because he never ran another one. I think, right?
I don't think there was ever 5. No.
And then he
What year was Kings of
somehow
Cali
got a
for?
job at Twitch.
14?
Then I was already working.
15?
So it wasn't. Wait, when did you start working?
I started in January 2014.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely wasn't.
Employee 100.
Really? That was like 325 or something. Of Twitch. Of
The
Twitch.
pillar that Twitch is built on, I think, is the 100th employee.
I think that, well, anyway, we'll talk about that some other time.
What? What else? I gotta tell you. Yeah, I think it's Kings of Cali for me. That's all I want to talk about. Interesting. Please look up the tournament. Great
Me,
tournament.
you, and Ben SW went. And I
Road trips.
remember, yeah, it was definitely a big trip for us. Because I said something about you being a Mewtwo King fan to Mango, and he got mad or whatever. But I feel like at some point, I think maybe that was a day where you were like, dude, I really don't like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my bad.
Well, it's because the first time I met Mango and you like.
Yeah,
and,
I was not
And we
being
were
cool.
kicking it off right away. Me and Mango were instant homies, and then you walked up and you were like,
I ruined it.
This guy's a fucking Music King fan.
I felt like it was my
unfollow him on
obligation
Twitter,
to
and
tell
then
Mango.
He also didn't think Mango was gonna make that big a deal out of it. But Mango did.
Yeah, I think that's true. I actually think you made it as a little joke, and
Probably.
then Mango like.
Yeah, well, yeah,
took
he
it
gets
too far.
stubborn, and then
Yeah, and then he would never.
that's
feel
part
like
of his persona of never letting go.
It was still a blast. I still had.
But I appreciated that you said that because I feel like with all new people, I act that way. And for some reason, I feel like everybody needs to tell me, like, dude, I don't like when you're a dick to me. Why don't I learn that? Why don't I just learn that as a general rule? Like, people don't like it when I'm a dick to them. But
Yeah, no, true. Also, a good story from that event is there was a contest to see who would team with Mango at that tournament between you and Batman.
yeah,
I thought you won. You're sad. You won though. Oh, you're getting a sad face. And we did it on the front lawn in Norwalk.
won?
No, Scar won, which was sick.
worst performance in teams
Yeah,
ever.
you guys had a trash
We
team
got
performance.
destroyed.
You
I
should not
played
have won
so badly.
because you played so badly.
I know. I'm sad that I won.
But you were like, I want to team with Mango, and then
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
worse than that. I'm sad that I won, but I also, you know how I felt? I felt like that imposter where I'm trying to team with Mango and I have no right to.
Yeah.
That's what felt so
yeah.
bad. That's what I felt like a piece of shit for.
No, your psyche cracked that whole tournament. I mean, it was the whole.
You
Yeah,
teamed with them a
definitely.
lot though. Dude, I really felt that again. You know, I'm so happy about. To this day, I'm so happy about. I only teamed with Mango in one tournament, but we did so fucking good.
Yeah.
Dude,
when you're grooving
It's
with
a
Mango,
great
it's the
feeling.
sickest thing of all
You
time.
know, we literally took a set. Do you remember? You didn't watch it.
I
did
know
you?
this. I watched
Versus
this.
who?
Me and Mango, the one tournament we teamed, we took a set off MTK.
Yes. You played amazing.
Best of 5.
That's dope.
We went to Game 10 Grand Finals. I felt like such a. I felt like super imposter syndrome sitting there. By the way, I was like, it's like me, Mango,
Yeah.
HBox, BT.
In their prime,
and I'm
dude.
in their,
It was
right,
as
in their
they were
prime.
gods.
And I'm just like, what the fuck
It was
am
like
I doing
Toph.
here? What the?
Toph and the 3 greatest players
Dude,
in the
there's
fucking tournament.
the Face Day Night thing. There was a spin-off anime of Face Day Night, which was like, it's all slice of life shit. And they go to the beach and they play beach volleyball 2v2. And it's Shiro and Saber versus, I think it's Archer and Lancer. It's like 2 servants. And so they're both super sick. And then this side, Saber's super sick. And Shiro's just like, wait, I don't belong here. Like, I'm a human being.
outclassed
You
her.
guys all are super even speed and shit. I'm like trying to fucking, and like every once in a while, Saber's like, fucking set the ball so I can spike it. And then she does like a meteor spike, whatever. And that's all he can do. That was me playing doubles with Mango against MTK HBox. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing here? And we fucking take a set.
As I
It was
recall, you
sick.
played really good.
Thank you. Yeah, it was probably the best I've ever played in a legitimate
In a
tournament.
team set.
Ugh. Why does it happen sometimes that like you're just playing nice and then it keeps going?
What do you mean?
What do you mean it keeps going?
Keeps
A part of me feels like a lot of us have the skill to play at like a legit top level.
Oh, but it doesn't keep going.
But the stars only align for us every once in a while.
I know why.
We don't
It's
practice
actually
enough.
Super,
It's
wait,
just
it's,
grind.
it's actually obvious if you think about it. Because if you imagine.
If you say it's our mental
graph-
game and our ego
No,
holding
no,
us
no.
all back, I would agree.
Well, that too, but I think the way it manifests is very simple. Say you have like a bar that represents your skill level. So this is high, this is low. So every player, they have their A game and their C or their D game.
Yep.
And for us, we're like, so this is high level play. There's a band right here. And for us, our A game just touches high level play. But for Mango or Armada probably in particular, his whole game down to his F game
way above.
is in high level play.
Yeah.
So every now and then we end up playing
can stretch.
right, but the rest of our game is not there. If we played consistently, but no one plays consistently at their A game. So it's a matter
But
of
Armada's
bringing,
C game is in the fucking high level play.
is in probably the upper end of high level
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that's how that manifests, right? Is that
He has
like,
a narrow bar at the top.
if I'm playing my A game and Mango's playing his B game,
It's a
probably
contest.
I could probably take a best of 3.
Yeah.
Probably today. If Mango's playing bad enough.
He's at one of his shittiest days. He's
It's
just
like
playing,
drunk.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah, of course,
the
but-
stars have to fucking align. And 364 days, you're using spank me. Some days really bad.
Yeah. If he's playing on top of his game.
Yeah, if he's playing on top of his game,
And
and I'm
you're
playing on
not on
top of my
top of your
game,
game,
then
it's
I'm
gonna be
getting
close.
4-stocked. It's not
Yeah.
even close. So, you used to have days.
Yeah, I read about A, B, and C games in poker a lot. It was a huge part of it. And just like lopping off your C game was like the best thing you can do. Because
Any game where you got to win by the odds, you have to lop up your C game.
yeah. If you want to make it through a bracket tournament, you have to lop up your C game. Otherwise, you're gonna have a fucking shit tournament.
I love the word lop.
Yeah, it's like
it's
lopping
one of
off an arm. It reminds me of like
Yeah, but all the other cutting-based words, all the other words that are cutting, the onomatopoeic, it's like they're referencing the cutting noise. But with
The
lop,
lop
it's
is
almost
the-
like you lopped it off, but
and
then
it flops.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
love the
yeah.
word lop.
I like C
so
games
unique
lopping
in
off.
the cutting words. All the other cutting words cut.
That's a very unique,
slice. Those are all words that describe-
incisive
That's
look.
a thing that Toph would say.
That's only
for sure.
that's a Tophism for sure.
Yeah,
You know I'm right.
Those
I would never
You're
attack
totally
it from
right.
that
No.
angle.
Yeah.
Super right. Super right.
I worry about that all the time where I'm just like, wait, did I say something stupid? And everybody's just saying like that's smart, or like
I know, but I know for a fact that was
I spend
smart.
most of my life saying, and I'm like 95% sure like, oh no, this is just something that I think about, nobody else thinks about.
Right.
But then I'm like, wait a minute, was that like super obvious? And, like, should I have said that? Like,
just
were
a
they
fucking
thinking
weirdo.
like,
You're
why is this
such
guy
a
talking?
worrier.
No, I had
All
that.
the
I had
time.
that as a little baby
24/7.
flash,
Yeah.
But then I thought about it more, and I was like, no, this is so linguistically intelligent.
See,
there's no
I don't
way.
have
Yeah,
I don't
you're
have
totally
the
fine.
confidence anywhere in
I
that.
actually got that confidence from you. I think you gave me a lot of that.
How?
That's
This
funny.
is crazy.
Who
This
knows?
is crazy. This little self-concept and like reflects everything's relational. I think I'm realizing this now. When I met you and I started commentating with you in the early days, before I really knew who you were, I built a lot of my confidence off of watching your Bobby Scar concept. And I built a lot of referential sort of made a little notes to myself and about myself based on my image of commentating with you when I thought of you as this super confident Bobby Scar, The Rock, blah, blah, blah. Now that I know you better, I know you're not really like that, and it's more of like a layer above, you're like kind
Or
of
below.
whatever, yeah.
I
True,
believe it's a
true,
layer below,
true.
personally.
Point being, right? I referenced
Yeah.
like a reference
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
And now I got my confidence.
Memes
of that.
on memes.
And now I
Yeah.
feel like you can get confidence from me because this is the girl in the gun. This is the believe in me that believes in you. Another anime reference. Literally, that's what it is.
It is what it is.
Because I'm saying, like, if you're doubting
You're
yourself
right.
and you're like, damn, what if I'm fucking dumb? But I wouldn't think you're dumb.
Right.
And I got that confidence to be able to make judgments like that.
That's so
From-
hype.
So it's this fucking
That's
loop.
so
Everything's
It is a loop. That is a super
That
loop.
is such a loop.
But
it's like a friendship loop.
one
It's
thing
so
I will
cool.
say is that I trust the people to get that what I'm saying is like actually intelligent. I don't know why, but like with other people, with non-melee people, that's
Yeah.
why
breaks
I
down.
think it's like a level
Ah.
on top. So it's
Right.
like, and even when I'm with you guys, like I don't feel worried about it.
There
But
you
when
go.
I'm with random people, you ever like talk like, okay, my wife,
Yeah.
her family.
You trying to tell him about the.
Yeah, like if I
Fucking
gotta talk to them
tribes
about, even if I talked about LOP. Now, if I talked about LOP, I think that they would think that it was cool. But
I could see Sophie thinking Lop was cool.
I think they would think it was cool. But the things that I like to think about,
No, I could see some of the things you just talked about today.
like who the hell?
Like who is this guy?
I'm like trying to
What is this
undermine
jackass
all of what
talking
we
about?
built society on, right? That's what I like. All of us are kind of out. So we play this video game so hardcore, most people look at us, they're like, what are you doing? But it's
Yeah.
like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
What are you
Parents,
doing,
mom,
dear
and dad?
viewer?
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, what they're doing is they're engaging in something they're passionate about.
That's
but
right.
for the
You're
9
being
to
sick.
5ers,
You're being sick.
for the 9 to 5ers, for mom and dad, what are they doing with their lives? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's why I couldn't live that life.
Yeah.
I don't know what life they lived. My parents lived an honest lifestyle. They're very different, upbringing. So I get why it's different, but it's like they value working hard, and like getting paid for what you do.
Yeah.
Where I feel like most people, I'm sorry, I see them working, and even when they're working hard, they're not working smart. They don't actually know what they're supposed to be doing. Like, it's a bunch of wasted time and energy. And honestly, like, I think a lot of companies are no better, and in fact, somewhat worse than Reddit circle jerks. I swear to God, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
Well, almost any group of humans turns into a Reddit circle jerk.
That's the drink the Kool-Aid, right?
Reddit's not a unique website where.
And so am I going to go into my in-laws' house and say, like, hey, by the way, I think that everything you guys do is a sham? That's the implication always.
Yeah.
That's always the implication I'm making is like, wait, look at what we're all doing. Doesn't it make no sense? And then people get uncomfortable with
I built
that.
the whole life on this. So.
Yeah. I started asking, like, what are we even talking about? Is anybody enjoying this conversation? And
Do
they're
you
like,
ask
yes.
that at a dinner table conversation?
I did, and then stopped very quickly.
You're tough.
That
dude.
was one of the first.
I feel
That was
for you,
one of the
Sophie.
first interactions.
I straight up like I almost fucking I like hate to say
But
this.
I want to ask sometimes.
I like dissociate around my fucking family sometimes when I like family gatherings.
You just
It's
zoom
fucking
out?
crazy.
Like
I
watching
gotta zoom
yourself
out
on a
because, like,
screen?
it's fucking hanging out. I'm hanging out like with like 6 Trump supporters or whatever,
Oh no.
and like my fucking sister's a flat earther, and I'm just like,
Yeah, you got a tough.
you know what I mean? And it's
that's
just
the
like
obstacle
that's
course.
the crazy part.
That's
Right?
a
It's like
minefield.
you're saying it's because it's
got it
sad
tough.
when you've got all these good ideas.
You got it
You're
tough.
like, damn, I can't even talk to my fucking wife's family sometimes about these like legitimately good ideas because they can't distinguish it from fucking flat Earth concepts that people gobble up. It's crazy. It's crazy that I don't know. See, people are such scrubs. They don't even know. They wouldn't know good content if it hit them in the face.
If it hit him in the face.
It's all about what you're ready to receive, right? Some people are ready to hear things. You have to hit the people with what they're ready to hear when they're ready to hear it.
Time and place.
Right?
and place.
And it's specific for every person. That's why it's like, I don't know. You have to be immersed in something. So that's why like 2.5 Things is real, right? You have to be immersed in something. I feel like if you think about your history as a player, like your breakthroughs happen like there's always a quality of it's like serendipitous.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many things, especially in Melee, where it's like I had heard the advice a bunch of times, but it never made sense.
Once it clicks.
But there was like a day
right?
or a time or a situation where it's like, oh, why didn't you guys just say it that way? You know what I mean? There's always that quality of like, why didn't you just say it exactly that way? That's what made, all this other stuff is like, just sounds like some poetic bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's almost like for everybody, right?
One day,
You gotta tell them in the way that they're,
someone's gonna tell me to not forward from the ledge in the right way, and I'll finally stop. But until then,
you're probably not connecting the dots of how much you're losing
I'm
because of that.
absolutely not.
You're
And
absolutely
if
If
you
someone
did,
could zoom out and show me the math of like you
Yeah.
lost this thought,
This
this
was-
like, yeah,
dude,
but
this
but the
the
problem
whole-
is when
my
there's
whole-
no losing
Yeah.
to ever
Right.
show somebody and then they'll never
There's
learn
no
that they're a
results
scrub.
screen. It's like Hugo's thing with commentary.
there's
no
no
one's
results
even telling
screen.
me I'm winning or losing.
oh yeah.
The whole fucking content of my lesson yesterday with Drug Fox was like if fucking like you got to be able to identify that like if someone could have just told me not to forward it from the fucking ledge, like identify those insights, right,
Yes.
and actually build a game plan off
This
of them.
loses you games.
Right.
This wins you
This
games.
loses you games. He was like, look, you're doing, like he showed me. He's like, look, you did this laser in the corner that at best, and it worked out, right?
Yeah.
And I got 2% from it. And it's like, cool, you got 2% and you're still in the corner against Sheik. And if it didn't work out, you'd be dead.
Right.
So you got the 2%, but like, does that really need to be in your game plan?
Don't send a reward signal to your brain for getting that 2%.
For getting that
Like, you should-
2%.
you should-
That's what we do.
The whole game was
Well,
wrong.
fuck yeah.
You should not have been
Every
fucking
forward
playing
I
that game.
hit, my brain lights up.
Right.
Fuck yeah, reinforce that neural
It's
pathway.
worse.
That is
It's
such a
worse
sick
for
idea.
me. This
Yeah.
laser is like the worst thing, right? But people they're wired to not even know the difference.
I did that. I remember Azusa came to the office one time.
Yeah. Choose it carefully.
Azusa is the kind of player.
Yeah. She's one of my favorite people.
People at a different age might use.
He killed me with the same combo
Yeah.
30 times
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
least. And every time he would hit me with the same setup. He would like forward air me off the stage. And 100% of the time I would double jump nair and he would nair my nair and I would die. Every time. It happened. And I'm not saying it wasn't like it was happening with like moments between. I would come down from the cloud and he would hit me with the same combo into the same nair, into this. And I remember like I didn't know what to do because I wanted to fucking kill him. But I also knew that he was doing nothing wrong. And so then I
Like,
wanted
these
to
are the
like,
rules.
I wanted to be like, okay, if only the only thing I do is not nair, then it's good. But then I would nair again.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Your brain's freaking out. Your
Yeah,
brain-
it's like I don't even know
filing cabinets are on
what
fire
is
in your
what
brain.
is existence at this point.
Yeah.
Where like I really did. I had such a ball of hate. I still even thinking about being in the office. I just feel full of hate.
Yeah, it's because it's such an exposing of your worldview. It's
Yes.
It's such a.
I couldn't get rid of it, but I do
It's such
remember
a-
every time it hits,
Yeah.
it feels so. Oh my god! It's like what?
It
I
feels
would
great.
rather be doing nothing else.
Yeah,
right. It's just like
absolutely,
it's
me
just like a
too.
whole world has made sense all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Actually, you need people like Azusa. That's
No, floaties.
Rare
that's
moments
how
in life.
floaty players are. That's their job. Their one job is to fucking chump
to
check us.
expose that fucking.
To expose us for being idiots, and we
Yeah.
hate it.
We hate it,
every
but we
time. It's
love
like
it. We
pulling
need it.
fucking teeth, but we do need it. We need the floaty mains.
Azusa,
I
man.
always complain. I always say we need the spacing mains because Melee would be dead without spacing mains. If literally if there were two good
yeah, no one's gonna watch
Pikachus at the
fucking-
top level, the game's dying. But we all need our floaty mains to keep us in check. We got to stop being such lazy idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just have to learn to be grown-ups for a second, and it's the floaties that make us do that.
But it's true.
But it's true.
But
That's tough.
Peach is like
Why
my
can't we all
mom.
be
But
kids?
in life, there's no
Peach
Azusas.
is seriously like my
why
mom.
can't we stay in Never Neverland?
Every time Peach nares me, like she's floating, I nair at her like an idiot at 0, and she nares me on the way down to Death Combos me. Or crouch cancel down smashes me. It's like my mom telling me to go to bed on time.
Yes,
like my mom telling
it
me to
is
do my
like
homework.
that.
It's literally like that.
Or it's like you eat
like,
a really
no.
shitty meal. Like
No,
you eat a fuck
do
ton
your
of
work.
junk food.
Yes.
Or you stay up and binge drink.
Peach is literally my mom. I think Puff is my dad.
It's like Azusa just fucking killing you. It's just like letting you know this is a result of your fucking action.
Yeah, it's a logical consequence.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I guess you're right. Shit.
That's why I like Mega Geeks Cali. He could avoid the logical consequences.
Right.
He was.
And
Oh,
then
it was immortal.
But what did it do?
Yeah.
What did
It
the
caught
lasso
up to
do?
him.
Got up to him!
Everything catches up
It
to you.
always catches up.
No, it always catches up to you. But it was. I was young enough to believe,
Yeah. Good for you, man.
and it was cool.
I'm happy for you. God damn it, dude. Yeah, it's so hard.
What else we got? We're running out of time.
That was good, man. I don't know what else. What else is? We talked about the nada. We talked about philosophy.
Yeah.
Talked about learning.
There's plenty more to talk about always, but
Always.
we had a rough 4 episodes, I would say.
We did.
of
We
the
went
Reeds.
down
We can talk about that. We can talk about how we feel.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of those fuckers.
I definitely think, Toph, that there's a domino effect.
So this is gonna be fine. It's
your
gonna be fine.
perceived-
I actually own a cardboard sign, a cardboard cutout of Leffen
It's gonna
in
change
my
your
house.
That's
whole
perfect.
Sid made one,
Yeah.
and I kept it. So I have a cardboard cutout of Leffen.
You just put it next to the Netplay setup.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it.
You're
I'll
gonna
bring
destroy.
it. I'll beat everyone.
I swear to God, you're
I
gonna
might
go to
bring it
top
to
of
tournaments.
Masters.
I might bring it to tournaments and put it
Put it between you and the other
immediately put it when
player.
I'm saying hi to them. Like, are you my next opponent? And they're, yes, it's me. And, okay, all
I think
right.
it's a really good idea.
Yeah, and I'll like tape it to the TV.
That's a sick idea.
Yeah, I feel like I'll beat lots of people. I'll get really good.
You'd be amazing.
Probably.
I swear to God, the difference is night and day.
I believe you. I actually don't even disagree. I've known this about myself.
I feel like I feel worried.
About
I feel
what?
worried about the future.
Of what?
The
People
world?
are getting this good.
people are just getting good.
Of Melee
Yeah.
or of the world?
Well, both, but Melee right now I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
no one's getting good at the world.
No.
People suck.
We're
at-
actually getting
People
worse.
Suck at we're getting worse.
We're getting worse.
Me and you were
That's-
getting
that's
better.
the scariest
Me
thing.
and you were getting better. Atrioc, we're getting better.
I know, but we're.
The three of us, though.
This is actually, I think, why
And
people are-
Spencer. Spencer gets better all the time.
Spencer's never
He's got a back
gotten
brace.
worse.
He's addressing his problems.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
True.
That's right. Yeah.
But what about Melee?
But what about the world and Melee? Whatever.
I feel like if Foxes are getting that good, I got to figure out how to beat them. When am I going to figure it
Yeah.
out? Where's the time?
15
How am I
minutes
going to
a
learn
day.
how to outspace full jump nair?
What if you meditate 45 minutes a day or whatever, and then you Uncle Punch 15 minutes? That's it.
Okay, 15 minutes of Uncle Punch is that grown. Then it's not gonna happen.
Then it's not gonna happen,
You
yeah.
gotta come to peace with it, or you gotta.
Yeah, that's
You
the
should make
route
a
I want.
routine.
I want that. I want to go down that route where I make my peace with it, because I feel like I'm still playing frustrated, and I
Yeah.
feel like I should be able to not practice and not be frustrated.
Right, that's impossible. You'd have to play a floaty.
No. I feel like I need to be not.
See?
I need
You
to be not.
don't you motherfuckers think I was gonna be complimenting you forever? You guys get your due.
Keep him on a short leash, these floating mains.
I feel like I should be okay with getting my ass beat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. We're playing floaty.
Yeah.
but I'm not. I'm very not happy with it.
You want to not practice and win majors, just play Puff.
Okay. HBox practices. You're on a kick today. You brought up this girlfriend thing unprompted.
My girlfriend thing.
Yeah, too much fun.
I didn't bring that up.
HBox is a
No, I
girlfriend
didn't
thing.
bring
And
that
now
up.
you're talking about
We
winning
were
majors
talking
without
about it.
practice. He practices, dude.
Well, me and Toph have been talking about doing the show more.
Yep.
I'm
This
stoked for
show.
this. This is great.
I would like to do it. We got to figure it out. So let us know, I guess, in Discord or on Twitter or whatever, if you enjoyed this 30-some minutes. I feel like this is easier to do than the reads.
It is. I told you it would be.
Yeah, this is.
You know why?
This, I feel like,
this is
Because we don't have to
short,
fight Falco! If I had to talk to you guys through the Toph and Scar
I've got
show,
no
but
problem
every
with
couple
Falco.
minutes a Falco came through that door and tried to attack me,
He tried to
it'd be
shoot
much
you.
harder to do. And that's what doing the reads is.
honestly,
no
I feel
problem
so
with Falco.
energized right now. I feel like I could go for another 2 hours easy.
Well,
Me
that's
too.
what I'm saying is this was easier because this was a 30-minute show. But the old Scar Toph show I know is a 4.5 hour.
I could do 2 more. I could do 2 more hours so easily right now.
Yeah, because you can talk. You can talk forever.
But only
If you had to
with
get your
only
ass while
melee
you're
players,
talking,
only with other melee people, and only with a camera.
Because there
if
needs
there were
to be
other human beings here
a level
that I
of
didn't
trust.
know what.
It's trust.
And with melee players, there's an
I feel
inherent
so-
trust. There's
I
an
feel-
implicit trust.
there is.
That Netplay almost grinds away. Netplay has taken away some of the soul.
Whoa, we're
That
getting
has
to the
been
core.
that has
That is
been
the most insightful thing anyone's ever said. That's the problem. It's not the Falcos. It's not the Peaches.
no. I
It's
do.
the- it's the
I
distance.
do.
It's the-
I do feel that melee, the community itself was built in person.
Wait,
right?
I just had this whole revelation. Yes.
No, you're probably catching up, by the way, to me and Atrioc.
No,
I think
no, no,
Atrioc's
no.
catching up to me. I've been here for a
went-
minute.
I
well, I
went
said
further, deeper beyond. Every time a Falco and Netplay, every time you guys do 3 uploads in place, what that tells me as the Fox player dash dancing is that you don't trust that I can play at the skill level requisite to grab your up tilt on reaction. It erodes all of that away.
There's
We
a-
become these
there's a lack
distrustful.
of trust.
I spam full jump bears in place. I admit it, and you do the up tilts, and we just try to cheat
And
each
we
other
all
'cause
get
there's
more and
no
more divided.
trust.
Actually,
And
Because we
Democrats
don't-
and Republicans yell at each other, and Falcos and Foxes yell at each
but
other.
wait a minute, we were talking about narcissism. So that book that I have is called The Point of Existence,
Point of
A.H.
Existence.
Alma's Transformations of Narcissism and Self-Realization, okay?
Yeah.
Narcissism is basically, even in psychology or whatever, it's defined as like when there's a problem with your self-concept, basically. Like something's wrong with your self-concept. But I'm bringing this up because
Yeah.
there is a distinct hateful quality that arises when you know that shit doesn't work on land.
Yes.
But you only can't stop it because of netplay lag.
Yeah.
Like there is a distinct feeling of like, dude, literally
I think that's
fuck you.
chapter 4 in the book.
Literally fuck you.
hate
Like
it. I
literally,
hate it.
literally, I could just show you in person. If you come here, I will show you that this doesn't work and you're not good.
Yeah.
But and then you feel like this other person thinks that they're good, and now the whole objectivity of the game is starting to disappear.
Yes.
I think that there's something more to it than I previously realized based on what you just said. But I also felt for a long time like, thank God we were a grassroots in-person community, because like look at the communities that form around games that are principally online.
Yeah.
Because we talked about MOBAs, right, where you can blame other people,
Yeah.
distillation of
Yeah.
responsibility,
Yeah.
and these are all accessibility things, but at the expense of the humanity.
Yeah. Absolutely.
With us, it's all human, because we even talk about, people sucked on Smash boards. Like, yeah, they suck on the boards, but they're cool in person.
Yeah.
That was like a thing. There would literally be people who everyone would hate, but their friends would tell you, no, in person they're cool.
Yeah.
But it's just the effect of like not being in the human environment.
I know.
It's like this person sucks.
And anyone that had to get good would have to go to a
You
lot of
have
things
to
in
go.
person.
You know what fucking
You
sucks?
cannot
Have
get
to go in
good without
person.
going, because there's no good
So
talent.
all of the
Yeah.
good people
No Uncle
had
Punch.
bought into this circle of trust. They had to.
And you know what fucked all this up for like gaming? Capitalism.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Well,
fucked
capitalism
it up.
created Melee.
Yeah, but like
Its
the
greatest
but the
achievement.
logical, yeah, right.
The pinnacle of capitalism was getting
But the
Sakurai's
logical,
paycheck.
extreme or the
Right.
logical conclusion of that growth was, we had to end up with fucking Fortnite and Reddit.
Capitalism is a good system for creating wealth.
Yeah,
That's what it does.
it's good at it.
It does not make quality content, for sure.
Can't.
The only thing I hate about capitalism, I don't know why we're getting so deep into this, is the snowball effect.
Snowball effect's way too.
It's
Well, that's the
too
whole
powerful.
point. But no one knew. People didn't know. I kind of, you know how I feel. I feel like capitalism was such a sick idea But it was back in a day where you could, like, someone who came up with it and instituted it, I don't know. Yeah. But whoever came up with it and instituted it, I bet would have been like, okay, and then if in the future it's causing problems, someone will just change it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, like, who can even change it if they wanted to?
Yeah.
No one can
Right.
change it.
Right.
But yeah, it snowballs, but nobody knew that
I
they
just mean
were,
it's like-
you know what I
like-
mean?
like
It's
say-
basically like no one ever had it. If you didn't have a supply cap in StarCraft.
Yeah. Yeah, just keeps going forever. He's macroing.
It's like once you have an army this big, no one can ever kill you, ever.
You're just tanking.
Scale, it's just scale, and it's not who is the better player at that point, right? It's just who has
That's what I'm
already
saying. So who's the
achieved.
better player?
Who has already achieved.
Like if you and me have 2 ideas for a fucking
Yeah.
soda,
Yeah.
and I invent Coke and you invent Pepsi, and
Yeah.
maybe Coke sells better and I make more money.
Yeah.
I won, that's fine, that's fair. But then I have more money, or maybe you don't make Pepsi, you make fucking a shitty soda that doesn't sell, you make no money.
Right.
Now my fucking kids
Well,
go to
think
better
it-
schools, and now I have infinite money, and now it's like a fucking snowball effect, and now
Yeah,
I can
you're
invest in
snowballing.
more things.
You're snowballing.
And
And
now,
it doesn't fucking matter anymore.
and
I
now-
can come
and
up with
now-
the best tasting soda on the planet.
yeah, and
because
now
I have
3
no
generations
reason to
later,
back
my
me.
fucking granddaughter can make a shitty soda, and your granddaughter makes a great one, and she
But
gets
it's your
fucked.
granddaughter.
My granddaughter wins, or my granddaughter buys her out.
Yeah.
The point is that like the snowball effect is just out of control.
Yeah.
It's not better player anymore.
No,
it's not better. And that's why. the
That's
only-
fucking right.
That's
Which
why
is
I
what
feel.
makes
no one
sucks.
fucking gets this shit.
And that's why I feel like video games are so dope because it's the one avenue in life, right?
Yeah.
Because our whole system is all this stuff that's like.
It used to be, but they're fucking taking that away from us because it's not sustainable under capitalism. And now it's fucking Fortnite.
No, I think
Royale and all this shit.
in-person tournaments.
Yeah, but fucking.
Yeah,
we're
the-
like Melee is one of the last bastions of that 1v1 fucking.
Like better player wins. Deep
Yes,
skill, yeah.
Melee is one of the last
shit doesn't
fucking
happen
bastions
anymore.
of that.
I know, but
Games
2019
like
we're
that don't
still
come out
around.
anymore.
Okay, well, you're at a point where what you're saying to me, and I think that this is important to all the viewers.
Yeah,
You can either believe in humanity or not.
I kind of don't.
I'm betting on humanity that here's what I believe, Toph.
We
Here's
need
what I believe.
We need like 1 million more scars.
Here's what I believe.
Clone him.
You know what the plan for that
Can you
is?
imagine that whole
You know what the plan
vibes?
for that is?
Let's go, baby.
It's all one plan.
Let's go, baby.
I feel like, okay, Brene Brown says this thing, which I think is dope, where it's like, people feel good when they feel like they belong or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite of belonging is fitting in, right? Like fitting in is like making yourself like the group.
Forcing yourself.
Belonging is like some expression of yourself
Like
is
you being
compatible.
yourself and you're in a
Yeah.
group.
I feel like if people taste Melee, it's really hard to like get competitive about something that's worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's less competitive.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just hard.
yeah,
It's just something about it feels wrong.
yeah,
I mean, it's
We
been
just feel it
proven
in our
by
bones.
yeah.
how people will go to these new games. Like, I'm not shit talking Ultimate or anything. It's a great game, right? But it's helped grow Melee.
Yeah.
Because people taste both,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, wait, this actually tastes pretty good once I've tasted it.
It's
So,
really hard if you're really in
it's
it
like an
for
acquired taste, but once you
yeah. If
Yeah.
you're in it for those reasons, like right, like really wanting to push yourself, really wanting to grow, which I think is inherent in all people. You get this. It's more like whatchamacall, like the accessible new
Oh,
games. They're
man.
like candy. You know what I mean? And like, yes, you
Yeah.
can sell a lot of candy, you can move a lot of candy, but like,
Melee, there's no loot boxes,
You gotta
there's no
eat your
fucking
vegetables, dude.
skins. You don't have some fucking cosmetic bullshit that levels up
Yeah, I
over
can't
time.
believe
You
there's
just have your
none
skill
of that.
level.
You just have your skill
basically-
level.
You just have your
You
skill
get
level.
everything
but
with
we
a fucking-
fucking love it.
you just have your skill level.
That's it.
They're not going to make a Melee again, actually. You're fucking right.
They're never
Oh
gonna make
no,
a Melee
definitely
game.
not. No, that's not gonna happen.
Absolutely.
They made Melees
never.
before Melee and
Indie-
around Melee's time.
In indie might, but then you have the problem of like, when does it go mainstream?
Yeah.
I don't think even in indie. I mean, you think
No,
like
yeah, it's not gonna happen. Melee is all we have.
26 beautiful characters, everything in all the shit
Except
it came
Game
with.
& Watch,
Fuck him. And Ices.
Ices.
I had less fun playing that Ices.
24
I had
beautiful
less fun
characters.
playing the Ices I four-stocked than Snap overall.
I believe it. Yeah,
Even
were
though-
he
even
took-
though I
he
won.
took
Actually,
you,
that
he
ice
took you
game
to
was fun
darkness.
to watch.
Yeah, that's a good part.
We had fun watching it, playing it back. I taunted him a lot.
You did taunt him. You fucking tried him off, taunt him, tried him off, taunt him again. He wasn't even a bad guy. He's just an ices.
I know.
You just picked the wrong
Yeah,
character.
they picked the wrong.
Shelly.
It's kind of part of it though.
Sorry, Shelly.
That's true. You have a choice when you pick that character.
Sorry, Shelly.
So
She's
we
not
just talked about the
Casey.
degradation
There's
of
no
trust
Casey that
in
plays
the
Ices.
Melee system inherent in Netplay.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we make it past that. I don't know. That is a real concern in my opinion.
Well, that's what I think this helps out. I think the stories
changes
you
it for
tell
sure.
on this help. If people have shared stories, they're more likely to be friends. And I think I've made friends with Melee people because of things that we've heard through Scar and Toph show. and just feeling we're all part of something and it's all like a community.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so if it's just you're grinding Netplay alone in your room and then you go to a tournament and go too, it's just like you're not hooked in any. There's no hook. This
no
helps
hook.
a lot.
Yeah, this is the hook.
So you guys are doing good shit.
You're right.
I wish I wasn't so scared of people. I was thinking of the other day about how I just run from commentary into my hotel room. It's just because I'm literally scared of people.
You guys would be
I'm
shocked
scared of people in person, but
at how
when you're
different
there, I
Scar
feel
is
so
off
good.
camera than camera. It's shockingly different.
Bobby off cameras. Yeah.
He's such a different person. I mean, it's still the same person.
I know
100%.
Bobby well enough that I'm able to kind of tie the two together.
Yeah.
I've got the full picture now.
Yeah, totally. No, I mean,
But-
it all makes sense. It's all cohesive, but it's like
The shit that's crazy to me is that there's a lot of you guys that are really familiar with Scar behind the camera, but not familiar with Scar not behind the camera. But it's crazy for me to think about people like Sophie, for example, and Sophie's family, etc., who are familiar with only Bobby not behind the camera and are completely unfamiliar with Bobby behind the camera.
that's an interesting angle to it.
Right?
It doesn't.
They
doesn't
don't
feel
even
good.
know that kind of Bobby.
It doesn't actually feel good as me.
So they only
Right?
see like this very anxious kind of like off-putting kind of
Honestly, you know,
Yeah.
it's actually
prickly.
now that
Prickly, not really that charismatic.
Sorry, that's actually just really funny to me.
well, it's true. This doesn't
Like
usually
Sophie's
come
dad
up.
just fucking thinks he's kind of a doucher. This is really funny. Sorry, I'm not trying to. To me, it's a funny concept.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's funny.
I think that it's a numbers game, actually.
Yeah. How so?
Don't try to make up for it. Let's see what you're doing.
I'm just transitioning.
Where it's like, okay, if
Learn
I
from
want to,
the best,
remember
okay,
we were
learn
talking
from
about
it. You gotta move
lop,
on.
how Toph says lop or whatever. Okay, anything that I ever explain, odds are if there's at least 100 viewers, one of them doesn't get it. And so me explaining it has value. I never want to explain anything to somebody who already gets it. So with each individual person, it's a numbers game. I'm like, do they already know this or not?
But
I
when
think
there's
that's
a camera
probably-
on, you think there's enough that you're
There's
doing.
enough people, and
You're
they all have to
confident you're
listen.
adding value,
They
so
all
you
have
can-
to listen to me anyway. So.
They have no choice.
But if
But
you're
then,
around
like, if I really think about it rationally, like, it's fine to explain things even when people get it.
Yeah.
But I'm so scared to explain something that people already understand.
yeah.
I think that holds me back in every which way.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Well.
I'll think about that.
over.
I gotta take that off camera.
You
Anyway,
don't like explaining things that people don't understand.
we're over time.
That's actually that's like anti the whole concept of like mansplaining.
Yeah, you're
Man's
right.
never-
I never want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so horrified of.
Yeah.
You're horrified of mansplaining.
I never want to do that either. I think I'm pretty good at not doing
But
it.
it's because I'm so obsessed with the idea of like, people can get good at things.
Yeah.
And you never know when you're not good at something. Like, you should
Yeah.
assume that you're bad at everything. That's been my like
That is a
ethos
good default.
since Melee. Is like,
Yeah.
assume that I'm bad at everything. So what if I'm talking to somebody who actually understands this area?
Right.
Then I know nothing. I'm like a little ant. And then I'm trying to explain something. Why am I explaining? Like, so
You know,
I
that's-
wish I could ask people, like, what are you good at? Like, what are you about?
Yeah.
I feel like the answer for most people is like pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Like one thing or zero
thing.
things.
Usually one thing, one thing.
Yeah, but they're so scrubby at it.
Yeah, but and we've talked about this before. To become even a high-level scrub is not hard. I mean, we talk about the top 10% thing.
Yeah.
Where it's very easy to become top 10% of any skill in the world.
That's like
Cooking,
all I ask.
fishing, whatever the fuck it is. You put a little bit of effort and practice in it, you're in the top 10% in the world, guaranteed.
I feel
most
like
people
all
are
my
bad
favorite
at
people-
most things.
All my favorite
Yeah.
people, like I can't fuck with people that aren't in the top 10% of anything. You know what I mean? Those are the people I immediately filter out of my life. Dates, like friends. I feel like I have no friends.
By the
that
way,
are
it's
not
not,
in the top
it's not that
10%
hard.
of
It
something.
sounds more
the whole
exclusive than
point
it is. It's not.
It's really if you have ever applied
It's just,
effort
it means
into
you have a passion. You have a passion and you put effort
Some
towards
passion.
it. That's it.
That's all you need, yeah.
That's all you need.
Not give up at the first challenge.
Right. That's all it is. Like literally, like I realized just playing a new fighting game, like as I'm learning Eunice or whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute, like if you have no talent, right? And you just learn your combos, your like optimal or like standard, bread and butter, like corner pressure situation things, block strings, and like what to do, like your basic defensive tech. That's it. That takes you so far.
You're so far.
You're so far out of the
You're
curve.
light years ahead of most
And, like, the
players.
people
Most
who
players don't
can't
put
do that-
any effort in at all.
No effort. That's the Fortnite generation. They put their effort in fucking doing the flossing dance.
They got good at it though. Top 10%.
If you're top 10% of the flossers,
I love you.
you can fuck with me.
That's the first time that sentence has ever been said. That's cool.
I feel like I went on a date with this girl, and I just felt like she wasn't in the top 10% of anything.
I know what you mean.
Totally.
You know what I mean, right?
No, I know.
Totally.
And to all of you watching, you are certainly in the top 10%
All of you
Melee content
You guys are the
consumption,
top
right?
10% of taste.
Like
Content
even
consumption?
content
If nothing
consumption,
else, which is
caring
very
about
important.
the community,
Carrie,
right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Keeping the community alive. This is, I mean, you supporting
anybody
this.
who's supporting anybody on Twitch or on Patreon, like
is going.
you care about something,
Yeah.
right? You care about something at a level that I
beyond
respect.
the surface level.
Yeah.
At a level that I respect, not transactional ass level. So thank
And
you
if you
so
watch
much.
this whole thing, you care about learning, and I mean, I can't imagine you watch this whole thing if you didn't find the subjects interesting. So.
Yeah. We gotta get whoever it is to turn this into a podcast version too, so we can get on.
Well, stay on the
Doesn't
fucking
have to-
podcast
doesn't have
game,
to
okay?
Okay.
Doesn't have to stay behind the paywall though.
I'm kidding.
I don't know. Well, we can publicly release it after a little while.
Podcasts are a mean street.
We'll like publicly release it empty. You can cut the Xbox
Let us
jokes
know
out.
if you want more. That's really the question.
For the public version, just cut all the HBox jokes out.
This is a pleasure.
Here's
All
to-
right.
To my
Atrioc,
two of my
thank
greatest
you.
friends. I was
And
happy to be
to
here.
you, the viewer, the people of Melee, stay strong. Keep your trust up. Don't take Netplay too personally. We know that you could do better in LAN. Be nice.
And we will try to follow that advice as well.
Whoa,
Because
no,
yeah,
we're
it's gonna be a
perfect.
long journey.
So it's not
we
really
have a ways
us.
to go in that
No,
department.
we don't. We're good. We're fine.
But till next time, thanks again for watching. Peace.